Hello there my fellow Holotable heroes and welcome to another roster review. So let's start by giving a shout out to today's Holotable hero, a person. So I guess he's a real person, not AI, right? That's what the nickname says. That's what we gotta believe, right? Let's also give a shout out to their guild, OG, Feast of the Empire. Is this like number 4 from this guild, I believe? So I guess the news is spreading fast there that I'm doing roster reviews. Anyway, let's go ahead and have a look at their profile. So 5.8 mil GP, you know, kind of a mid-game account, I guess. So they do have 3 Galactic Legends, which is kind of okay, I guess, for this size of the account. And let's have a look at what they said about the roster. So they just finished profundity requirements and they're now working on Leia, but beyond that they're not sure what to do exactly. They're thinking actually maybe going for Lord Vader next, you know, if the new clones will be farmable by then, but we still don't know how that clone team will look like with Lord Vader, I guess. They also feel like they will need overall more competitive teams because they started playing Grand Arena again. And also said if Darth Revan Lightspeed bundle comes around, he might want to buy that as well. But then also what are their other non-Galactic Legend teams they can work on. So let's, I guess, start off by looking at ships. So they did say they have so they have profundity requirements done. I guess they're just waiting for the event to come online, and then they will have Executor and Profundity. 2 Galactic Legend ships I think is pretty good for, you know, less than 6 mil GP. I had a look in terms of, you know, maybe going for Leviathan as well, but they don't have Malgus yet and Fury Interceptor. So they're slowly working from the proving grounds, obviously, to get that up and running. So it's not something I guess we'll be looking in the near future. So that's pretty nice. I've got Executor and then Profundity soon in this account. Very nice. Now let's go ahead and, as always, go through some of the factions. So again, I'll skip the ones that there's nothing to talk about. You know, I don't want to make this video like an hour long as usual. So let's go ahead and first kick off with looking at the Empire faction. So what do we want to work on here? I would suggest obviously to work on Mara so they can unlock Starkiller. And then you will want to as well have Palpatine in there, right? To go with Palpatine, Mara, Starkiller lineup. Let's as well relic him up. And then I will suggest, like, further down the line to go also for Supreme Kylo Ren. And that's why, anyway, Palpatine I think is needed for Kylo anyway. So, you know, it's not going to be a waste at all to do that. And then because they are still kind of finishing off Leia requirements, they obviously need to get the Scout Trooper to Relic 7, I believe, to unlock Leia. Speaking of Leia, obviously we need to get the Ewoks done. This is what Nisa to Relic 7 and then Wicket and Chirpa to Relic 3, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They're already Gear 13, which is nice, so we just need to work on relics and they'll be good to go to help unlocking Leia. And as mentioned before, Supreme Kylo Ren, I think should be next Galactic Legend for them. And as you can see, First Order looking pretty good, I guess. So obviously we need to gear them up, all of them to Gear 13, relic them up and so on. So definitely we'll be looking to work on those guys. And then Jedi, what do we have in Jedi department? So they do have Jedi to Revan, but they don't have Darth Revan yet. So again, we'll be looking at that as well. What units they still need to unlock Darth Revan. Just from the Jedi faction itself, what we do want to work on obviously is Kyle. Same like Mara, right? We do want to unlock Starkiller. So we want to get him up and running, and then also he'll be going nicely with their rebel fighters, because you will see they have a pretty good rebel fighter faction. So obviously Kyle is kind of like the key piece of any rebel fighter team, whether you have Saw or Mothma. He's gonna really juice them up a bit, obviously keeping in mind, you know, they started playing Grand Arena, so we need to build out more teams, right? And and of course, let's see. Okay, they don't have Kylo back at all unlocked yet, so definitely, like, even after Kylo, right? Bo-Katan, I think, could be the next thing they work on. I would also suggest them farming up Kylo back. And then we have a look at Mandalorians. As mentioned, Bo-Katan, I would suggest them to go for it. They only have Beskar Mando. So you don't need 3 more units. Caloran back, Paz, and IG. I think they're all accelerated now, if I'm not mistaken, I think. If not, by the time they get to it, they will be accelerated. So, you know, just add 3 more units and you will have another legendary in your bag. I think that's nice to have. And then rebels, obviously, just kind of finishing off the layer requirements. I think Luke, right, is needed to Relic 7. I think 3PO and Chewie as well, Relic 7. Captain Rex, Relic 7 as well. Where is Lobot? There you go, Lobot, is it Relic 4 Lobot maybe, or Relic 3? Captain Drogon at Relic 7. So, you know, as you can see, they're not too far off. And R2 at Relic 8 maybe for Leia. So they're not too far off Leia in terms of that. And then let's have a look at, as mentioned before, Rebel Fighters. So this looks like a Lightspeed bundle to me, am I right? They got like Relic 3s, Relic 5s, I could be wrong, but that's how it looks like to me. And obviously it's a bit of a waste with the Rebel Fighters because they must have Mothma from the Galactic Legend farms. Obviously we need Kyle-Katarn, and then because you don't have Scout, Scout kind of is a key piece really of a Mothma lineup with Pow. I would suggest pushing Saw up as well, and then you can actually put Omicron on him and have a Saw Rebel Fighter lineup with Kyle in there. Base and Cheered also will go nicely, so. And maybe Captain Rex as the 5th, I don't know. Or, you know, at least you can run one Mothma lineup with Kyle, but it would be just a bit of waste for these guys not to use them with Saw. And then let's have a look at the Old Republic. Obviously we will have to work on that because we do want to unlock Darth Revan, we do want to unlock Malak. You want to get this done as soon as possible because you might probably not have like a whole huge stack of GAC currency that's needed to get Malak from Relic 5 to Relic 7. Now they do have, in terms of this, they do have John Skywalker there already, so you know, there's not going to be hard competition for that get currency. So definitely I think they should add Darth Revan and Malak on their list. Again, you know, at this kind of GP range, trying to build out more teams for Grand Arena, obviously that team as well is very useful. So from here, we need to get, Mission and Zalbar, right, to like gear 12 to unlock Darth Revan. And then we'll need Karth and Canderous like at gear 12 as well or something like that to then also unlock Malak afterwards. Speaking of Malak and the Sith, we do also want to work on some Sith here again. With in mind, right, we need more teams for Grand Arena. Let's build out a Traya team, so get Traya, Nihilus and Savage up and running, which means also an Omicron on Traya and an Omicron Savage. Like Scion, if you don't have resources, that's fine. You can just leave him out, skip him out. You don't need him for the most part. Obviously, we will have Talon already from the Starkiller farm. So then you can even just use 4 of these on offense, like Traya, Nihilus, Talon, Savage. And they'll do a lot of damage in Grand Arena for you, which is nice. And then finally, Sith Empire. We will need HK and Basti to like, I think, gear 12 minimum, right, to unlocking Malak. So these are the things that I would suggest they work on, obviously. Now, what does this all mean? Let's go ahead and look at the plan itself. And there you go. So that's the plan, how it looks like in terms of order priority, obviously. With in mind, like looking at their roster, obviously, they are not that close to any of Galactic Legends after they finish Leia. You know, but like they could go for Lord Vader, they suggested. They're not too far off. But actually, like looking at total signal data and stuff, they'll have to spend, looks like they're closest from that department to Supreme Kylo Ren. And at least Supreme Kylo Ren, we know what he brings, right? Whereas with Lord Vader, we're still not sure how that team will operate. Probably it's gonna be good. So, you know, by then, once they come to the farm of maybe farming Supreme Kylo Ren requirements or Lord Vader, we might have more information. But keep in mind still that Supreme Kylo Ren obviously will be cheaper to get in terms of, you know, Caro Tech, in terms of signal data than Lord Vader. Just something to bear in mind. And then obviously we need to build out more teams. So also, like, you know, instead of, you know, just going for a Galactic Legends after Galactic Legend, which, you know, takes months and months and months. And sometimes you just get one extra team, right? Like if you farm Lord Vader, They have Bad Batch already for that matter, so they will only get one extra team to use, and they don't have Maul, which I guess in the future might not even matter. So instead I would suggest after finishing Leia, you know, get your Revan, Malak, Starkiller, and then as well, you know, start working on Supreme Caloran, and then maybe another legendary, other Gungans or Bow, but because they have Beskar Mando, I feel like they're closer to unlocking Bow than Gungans, although you could argue that Gungans are a better team. But you know, it really depends what they want. So in terms of farming, obviously, we will want to finish off Leia and first Starkiller requirements, farming them up to 7 stars, then start working for Darth Revan unlock requirements, Malak requirements, and then, you know, as well do complete the Sith trio. Well, it's still trio, I guess, but Savage replaced Sion, right? So it's still Sith trio, I guess. Work on those guys, farm them up to 7 stars. Then we can also start farming again. You could start farming here Lord Vader requirements, but I don't know, because of obviously the signal data and the Cryotech investment, Supreme Caloran is definitely easier to get. That's why I'd suggest do that. And then again, I suggest looking at their roster, do Bo-Katan, but you know, you can also go for Gungans. I think whatever you feel like it, just start farming those guys slowly to 7 stars, because you know, farming shards takes time. And then in terms of gearing priorities, again, we'll have to finish off the Leia requirements to gear 13, and then what we want to do is get a mission in Zalbar, so you can then unlock Darth Revan, which obviously is a first milestone they will probably hit. And then as suggested, I would suggest to also gear up Saul, and then the remaining requirements for like Starkiller, Darth Revan, yeah, then again Sith Triumvirate. Then once they unlock here Starkiller, right, they'll gear him up, do the Sith Triumvirate, and then we can start working either, you know, Supreme Caloran or Lord Vader. It's really down to them. Again, Supreme Caloran, way cheaper to get in terms of relics and Cryotech, so I would suggest do that first. And then in terms of relicing, just kind of, I guess, follows that path, you know, of the gearing. Just finish off all the Leia requirements, so, but still probably they might unlock Darth Revan first before they finish relicing up for Leia. So it should be Leia, then should be Darth Revan first, then Leia, and shortly after that they should be ready to unlock Starkiller as well. And then here as well Malak a bit later on, and obviously just keep relicing these guys up. You can save up some Omicrons here obviously for Saw, Starkiller, Traya, and Savage. So this is kind of the order that I would suggest them they go about. It will give them, you know, well, they already do Leia farm, so that's nothing that's coming for me, I guess, but in terms of other things, definitely going for Darth Revan. They mentioned they might want to wait for Lightspeed bundle again. We don't know when these bundles come out, how they look like, so you know, it's down to them obviously, but definitely, yeah, they're working on Revan, and especially Malak, try to get as soon as possible on that, you know, slow grind from 5 to 7 stars, and then in between fill up, you know, with Starkiller, with Traya, boost your Rebel fighters, just, you know, that you have more viable teams for Grand Arena. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Hopefully it was useful and helpful. Just, you know, we had some bigger rosters lately, so it was actually good to look at some, well, a little bit kind of a smaller mid-game account, see where they're at and what they can work on next, just to, you know, improve their roster a bit. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one, but until then, have fun, enjoy your life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.